Another question I received from my social media was, how do I get over the jealousy I feel of people that are going out there, that are friends, they're going out there and excelling? For instance, we were in school together and all of a sudden they're now a multimillionaire and I'm not, or they have this amazing relationship and I don't. And we sometimes envy them and try to imitate them, and we get jealous of their behaviors because we are denying where we have what they have, and we think that we should have what they have and they shouldn't, and all this. So if you got one of those on your plate, you might want to stop and do the few steps here. Number one is identify what specific trait, action, or inaction that they're displaying or demonstrating that you admire and envy and wish you had. And because you're obviously, if you're jealous, you think they have something you don't. And they're when a guy comes along or takes a girl from another guy, or a girl comes along and takes a guy away from a girl, even though they're angry because they feel they've lost something that they valued, they're also envious because they obviously see that person displaying something that they're not willing to display or not able to display. It's grabbing the guy away or the girl away. So even though they may be resenting them, there's also the people you resent are also things you admire about them, or you wouldn't be judging them that way. You wouldn't be jealous of them. So go find out, first of all, what exactly is the trait you're admiring that you're jealous of, and then find out where you have it in your life, because it's not missing. Nothing's actually missing in your life. It's in a form that you're not honoring, and it's being expressed through your own values, not theirs. And if you envy them and you expect it to be in their values, and then you minimize it in yours, and you're not looking where you have that trait inside you, then you're going to miss out on, and you're going to be jealous of these people. Go and find out where you have the equivalent in your own life. If I see somebody that's done extremely well in something, I immediately ask, what exactly is it that I see that they've done well in? What exactly are the action steps that led to that? Not the result and outcome, but the actions that led to it. And then I go and find out, where do I display and demonstrate those same behaviors, actions in my own way, in my own form? For instance, Stephen Hawking, I admired him for his knowledge in astrophysics, and I've studied astrophysics. But I could see that the traits that he had, his diligence and his specificities, I have in another area in human behavior. I don't have it necessarily as much in astrophysics, although I've studied that too and written about it. I don't have it necessarily in that area, but I do have it in human behavior. And once I do, I realize that I'm not missing that trait that I see in him. I have it in my own form. And so I level the playing field and I own the traits, the grades. And by doing it, I'm not sitting there worried about them or jealous about what they've accomplished, because I now see I've done it in my own form. And people don't somehow realize that. When I teach people in public speaking, if they get frightened of speaking, it's because they think somebody out there in the audience has got something and done something that they haven't. If they find out where they have in their own form, in their own values, not the person's values, they all of a sudden calm down and they're just having a communication and dialogue. But if you can own the traits of what you see in others, that calms down some of the jealousies, because you realize that you have it too. Then if you can communicate that to the person, let's say you're in a relationship, if you can communicate that value in your form to that individual, they won't be sitting and envying other people and admiring other people. They'll now appreciate you because you can now articulate it in a way that they win. So there's two things there. Own the traits, the greats, and communicate your unique way of expressing the trait you admired in somebody else that you were jealous of, and unique way of expressing it in a way where the other person wins. If you can articulate it in a way and give them the benefits the way you have that trait, over above some of the other people having the trait, all of a sudden they'll level the playing field. They'll come back to you. You won't be jealous of them and insecure. It's only when you think that the person has something you don't that you're sitting there playing underdog. If you're in a relationship, think about it this way. When you're in a relationship and you're highly infatuated with somebody, you're fearing their loss. And you have jealousies associated with it. You're a green-eyed monster. But if all of a sudden you're in a relationship where you feel that you're the one empowered and they're not empowered, and they go out, you're not jealous of other people interacting with them because you don't have fear of losing them. You fear of gaining them. So if you level the playing field, you don't have the fear of gain or loss, and there's no jealousy. People that you really love and that you're not infatuated with, you don't have the jealousies of. You give them the freedom to be and to interact with people, and they appreciate that interaction. And they're more likely to be staying with you because they realize that you love them regardless of those dynamics. And they don't have to hide. They don't have to, walk on eggshells around you. When you're infatuated, you can smother people and walk on eggshells. And then what happens, they feel that they can't be themselves around you. And then they're vulnerable to somebody else coming along that gives them the freedom to be who they are. So own the traits of the greats. Anything you admire in somebody, find out where you have that same. Nothing's missing in you. Come to the breakthrough experience I teach on showing people how to do that. It's mind-blowing when you get to realize that and the power it gives you. And then go and find out how to communicate what you have in your unique form, according to your values, in a way that helps people that you want to have a relationship with get what they want. When you do, they're going to be appreciative of you. You're not going to be so jealous about them because they're going to show you the respect that you want. If you help other people get what they want to get in life, they help you get what you want to get in life. And you get to have the respect and the lack of jealousy. Jealousy is simply a part of you that you think this person has something you don't, and somehow you're not communicating the form in which you have it in a way that meets that person's needs more than the other person. And if you can bring those into balance, you can dissolve it. I can take anybody who's got jealousies and I can show them how to dissolve it and neutralize it on any human being. It's a simple step-by-step process I just outlined, and it's just methodically doing it. And then all of a sudden, this insecure person that's fearing about jealousies is now re-empowered because there's nothing missing. And they know how to communicate respectfully what they have in terms of what other people want.